Hello, everybody. I'm Patrick Chun, the co-founder of IITTI World Civility Index. And again, today we have soft skill expert Carolina Tan with me here. And we're going to talk about a subject that some of you may have actually experienced. And it's very heartbreaking. And it's about what if one of your coworker stole your thunder. In other words, you have some brilliant idea that you want to talk to your company, talk about to your team, and somebody somewhere somehow he or she got the idea of it. Maybe you have been loose lips and telling this person, and this person told everybody and claimed that it was his idea or her idea. So what can you do? So Carolina, what would you do in that situation there?
Thank you. Hi, Patrick, and hello, everyone. It has been a while, and we're just happy to be back. So, let's analyze a bit. So, by definition, when we say that someone steals your thunder, it is literally to prevent someone from having success or what we call getting attention. It could be praise, etc., by doing or saying whatever that person was planning to do or say in advance, way ahead of that person. And would you believe this idiom actually has its roots way back in the 18th century from the peevish dramatist John Dennis? Would
Hmm.
you believe that he had conceived a novel idea before, literally with a thunder machine? And just to give an idea, imagine and let me know if you hear something.
I heard some rustling. Sounds like rustling
Yes.
of paper.
Yes. So it's a rattling sheet of tin at the backstage, the way John Dennis did that back then. It's
Oh.
called the Thunder Machine, and it's for a play. Um, though at first it was unsuccessful, later on it was used successfully during Macbeth performance. In
Hmm.
other words, friends, idea theft. I would put an X mark here, definitely, because it's never positive. It's of course morally corrupt, unethical to actually steal someone's work because when this happens, trust is breached.
Mm. It is well, again, this is something that happened to me personally, and it was just very hard, and like I said, hard and heartbreaking at the same time. And because the person who stole it, I considered him to be my friend, and he was a very smart person, but I don't know, it was just ambition, I guess. Ambition covering his eyes and just, anything goes. um but one thing I have to say, looking back, that was like almost 20 years ago. Looking back, I faulted with the management, the manager who took that, and he didn't question about who actually invented this new idea. And I would say it was his fault. He didn't actually look closer and say that, well, who actually could have or would have invented this thing? And he couldn't see that. He was blind because they were the same ethnic race, same gender, came from similar background, and they were chummy. They were friends. They were very good friends, and I felt like an outsider. So that was a major thing in management, just having an in group with people that are similar to them. And I left that company not long after that. I lost interest. They didn't seem to really think that I was creating something that was contributing to the overall company. So that was very hard for me in when that happened. But now, of course, it's just looking back, and I learned a good lesson.
Thank you. Of course, like all of us, like much appreciate what you shared, Patrick. It's something very personal, but it's your life experience, and definitely that has contributed much to who you are today. So, in terms of relevance, like friends, our viewers out there might be wondering how in the world can we actually deal with this? Well, simple practical tips. Number one, we can always seek clarification because for all you know, it was an accident. It was not intentional. It's
Mm,
always a possibility. Number two, you can request for it to be fixed. So in other words, if the other party knows that they violated something, they want you want to make it pretty clear that you want it rectified. And then number three, of course, the more practical thing here is on the upside, you might want to simply just get over it. Harboring it inside is something very heavy, especially to a person's heart, right? You can
mm,
vent it out, yes, make your case, but then again, afterward, just zip it because what's done is definitely done.
mhm,
But we know and in the soft skills world that we always want to handle any and every situation with grace and decorum. So,
mm,
in other words, let's not have a vengeful personality or attitude. And bottom line, I agree with what you shared earlier, Patrick, that we can always be proactive in sharing our vision, which means that if you know that something is like brewing or like you have a new idea boiling, so make it known to your manager, to your superior, and to your colleagues. So that way, even in a subtle way, they would know that this idea
mm,
originated from you.
mm.
In other
Look,
words,
yeah. Mm. Yeah.
go ahead.
Well, sorry to interrupt. Yeah, I think looking back, as an engineer, I'm by nature an introvert. I don't speak very much. You may not know that side of me. But since I start a company, my personality basically have to change in order for the company to survive. But as an engineer, as a technical person, it's easy to be an introvert and survive and thrive in many situations. So I think you're right. I think by giving little hints out there, just telling my boss that, hey, I'm thinking about something. I don't have to give it away, but I'm onto something. So that at least he or she would know that, hey, Patrick is doing something cool. And so even if somebody stole the thunders and so on, he or she, the boss may be a little bit more suspicious than what he would otherwise. Yeah.
Bottom line here in closing, almost any, if not all businesses, we all thrive when we actually know how to collaborate because things don't go well if it's all taken in by a single individual. So, in other words, let's make our stand. Let's be vocal. Let's be proactive and just move on with life.
Yeah. I think that's a good point. So okay, great. There can be so much more to talk about, and we'll meet again next time. But for the time being, thank you again, Carolina, and we'll see each
Thank you.
other again.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye bye.